Today we're making dark and delicious chocolate ice cream. And you might be a little intimidated by making ice cream because usually you make a custard and you worry about whether the eggs are going to break, or don't worry about any of that. Because this ice cream doesn't even have eggs in it, and it doesn't even use an ice cream maker. So it's the easiest, most delicious chocolate ice cream you have ever made. So we start by heating up a half a cup of whipping cream, and I have this on low heat. And to that I'm going to add 2 ounces of good quality bittersweet chocolate. So you see, if you add the cream first and then the chocolate, the cream heats up and the chocolate won't burn. And just stir that for 2 minutes until it's nice and melted and smooth. So this is nice and smooth, no lumps, and we'll just set this aside. Now we have a 1/4 cup of cold milk, and to that I'm going to add 4 teaspoons of cornstarch. And this is our thickener instead of eggs. In a heavy bottom saucepan, I'm going to heat 1 3/4 cups of milk, 1 cup of whipping cream, 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar, half a cup of cocoa powder, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And stir that together. It might take a minute, but don't worry, it'll come together. So once that comes together, we're just going to bring it to a boil over medium-high heat. And then as soon as it's boiling, turn the heat down and cook it for about 4 minutes on medium. Already, this is the most delicious hot cocoa you could ever want to drink. Now let's add this cornstarch mixture to our chocolate. And we'll just cook this for 2 to 3 minutes or until it's thickened. And you can see this is nice and thick and it's coating the back of the spoon. So I've just removed that chocolate mixture from the heat because we're going to add our melted chocolate now. Now let's transfer this into a 9-inch cake pan. And we don't want this to form a skin when it's freezing, so we're going to put a layer of plastic wrap right on the surface of the chocolate mixture. So we'll refrigerate this till it's nice and cold. You want it completely cold, which should take about 1.5 hours in the fridge, or you can just leave it in the fridge overnight. Then freeze it until it's firm but not completely rock hard solid. That should take about 2 or 3 hours. So now our chocolate mixture is nice and frozen. I'm going to show you it's not quite solid, so I can still kind of press my finger into it, but it's firm. Peel this off and break it into chunks and transfer this to a food processor. Now we'll just puree this till it's nice and smooth. And if you have to scrape down the sides, that's fine. So that looks nice and smooth, and we'll just transfer this to a freezer container. And I'll just freeze this again for 4 hours or until it's nice and firm. So I have some ice cream that I already made a few hours ago, and if it's a little bit too hard to scoop when you first take it out, just put it in the fridge, half an hour, it'll be nice and scoopable. For more inspiring ideas, go to CanadianLiving.com.